Web3.tv.
Hello, Web3 TV. I'm Lisa Amnegard, and today we're at the Dubai FinTech Summit 2025. And joining me right now is Reece Merrick, Managing Director for the Middle East and Africa for Ripple. So thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome. Great to be here.
And how's your day so far?
Awesome. Look, I think it's our third year at the Dubai FinTech Summit. I think the energy is high. There's tons of people already, and we're really busy. So, very hopeful it's going to be a great event.
And Ripple has been very busy in the last year. So can you tell me a little bit what's happening there and what's new?
Absolutely. So Ripple primarily known for our cross-border payment, which utilizes XRP and XRP Ledger to move value in real time. But we've since become, I would say, a digital asset and blockchain infrastructure provider. So we offer custody solutions to large FIs and enterprise customers. We've also recently announced that we have launched our RLUSD, which is a USD-backed stablecoin as well. So plenty going on at Ripple. Definitely.
And I know that you just received your DFSA license for the UAE. So can you tell me a little bit, what does that mean for Ripple?
Look, this is huge. Ripple were the first blockchain-enabled payment solution provider to get licensed fully approved from the DFSA. So what that means is we can serve entities in the region. So that's FIs, payment service providers, large enterprise customers with our cross-border payment solution. Today we've done over 35 million transactions, over $70 billion worth of volume. So, we're very optimistic on the growth that we'll see here in the region.
Definitely. And when it comes to cross-border payments and blockchain-enabled finance, Ripple has been at the forefront of this. So what kind of role do you see that having in, let's say, traditional finance going forward?
I think there's definitely a convergence between DeFi and TradFi that we've certainly seen over the last 12, 18 months. And I really think that's come from regulation. So regulation is allowing large financial institutions to basically offer digital asset solutions, whether that's through tokenization, whether that's through allowing them to buy, sell, hold crypto for their consumers. And as a result, Ripple are, at the forefront of that to be able to facilitate the services that they want to be able to get involved with.
Definitely. And also the DFSA has been sort of driving growth and innovation. So how has that helped Ripple in innovation, and what kind of plans do you have for the UAE?
Look, Ripple are a global entity, but we want to be able to operate in jurisdictions where there is firstly regulation and support from the top down. And you get that in the Middle East. You get that in Dubai with the DFSA and other regulators in the region, which is phenomenal.
Definitely. And I know that you will be having a panel discussion tomorrow. So can you tell me a little bit more about the conversations that you want to have and kind of the message that you want to convey?
Look, I think for us, it's more about just understanding and acknowledging the growth that this not only region, but more so the blockchain technology ecosystem is seeing. And a lot of that is positioned out of this region, I would say. We want to be able to talk about tokenization. I think that's the hot topic of this year. I think more traditional entities and institutions are stepping into the space. And whether that's through custody, whether that's through allowing stable coins for settlement, or whether that's just cross-border payments. So really it's about acknowledging where we're going, but also looking forward to see what the future holds.
Definitely. And you mentioned tokenization and also stablecoins. There's two trending topics that I keep on hearing. So I'm interested to know a little bit more about, do you think 2025 will be the year that stablecoins and tokenization really takes off here in the Middle East?
Look, I think if you see the growth of stablecoins, it's been phenomenal. I think there's, it's forecasted that it's going to reach the trillions of dollars of market cap over the next couple of years. And I think that for us tells you the sign and, the direction that we're going in. I think there's a ton of use cases around payments, whether that's stablecoin settlement, whether that's, being able to move businesses, being able to import and settle in a USD or another denominated currency stablecoin speeds the improvement for settlement and therefore makes things much more efficient. So I think we've seen a lot of growth. I think we're very much at the starting point of where we'll go. And that is the same for tokenization. I think that, many years ago when I've been at Ripple 7 years, I'm speaking to, large FIs, they were less open to looking at tokenization. Now the same FIs are inviting us in to kind of see what their strategy looks like and how they can implement that. So yeah, again, same message. I think we're very much at the starting point, but at the same time, the tipping point where there'll be, a huge transition of growth in both stablecoins and tokenization.
Definitely. And we're here in the UAE, but you manage the Middle East and Africa. So where do you see sort of the biggest growth happening in this region?
Look, I think regulation, as I've mentioned a couple of times, is what allows growth. I think what we're seeing a lot of international businesses that are coming to Dubai and the UAE because they had that clarity first and foremost. And then from there, they look to serve and be able to operate in the wider GCC region. I think Africa as well, it's huge from a crypto and blockchain perspective. Certainly cross-border payments as well. People are always looking for faster, cheaper, and more inefficient ways to move money. And Ripple are very well placed to be able to serve those regions.
Definitely. And for our viewers, you'll be taking the stage tomorrow at 1, I believe.
Yes,
1:10. Yeah. So make sure to check that out. And I want to say thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. Awesome to be here. Cheers.
And I'll be bringing you more interviews. My name is Lisa Amnegard, and you're watching Web3 TV.
Web3